Ready, box. Alright, we're back with another chapter review. Chapter 1469, titled Path to Victory. We start off in the corner with Mashiba's coach is yelling, stop the bleeding. Say, you're fine, don't worry. Are you feeling okay? We're stuck in the middle rounds, right? Don't go overboard. Don't gas out. Now, it's only round 6 to 12. Don't get overzealous. Don't get too hot. Don't have too much dip on your chip, alright? Take your time. Breathe. Stick to combinations. Hit the body. Knock the grease off his dude. Sorry, I got caught up in the moment. The coach is wiping off the sweat from Mashiba. He asks himself, as he calmed down, he says, no, he's still red hot, but he's also cold as ice. That's what we love to hear, boys. That's how winning is done, guys. That means that Mashiba is now in perfect form. He's in rare form. He has a calm mind, but his body is ready. He's water. He's like water, my friends. He can float or he can crash. Be water. So I think this is a perfect form of Mashiba. He's awakened himself. He's ready for it. Alright? He has the rough techniques. He understands what they are, what to look out for. But because he has them, he knows how to block them. But he also has a calm mind and is going to stick to being a professional in this match, no matter the circumstances, regardless of what may happen to him. And that right there.
That's what I'm talking about right there. That's
how okay. The pro debut to now. He's been in almost every arc of Hajime no Ippo, or in some capacity. He's almost like Hisoka, but he's finally at that point. He is that guy. Himothy Chalamet, Hemi Neutron. Right. We have another fire panel. Mashiba's looking across the way at Rosario's corner. We see the referee going to talk to him. Rosario has his head down, and it says in the corner, and the author's note, the world's highest peak is in his sights. It's right there. He take this guy down. He gets to become the world's best big brother, which is a wild goal. But still, I respect it. But a world champion. We watched him do it, and arguably, well, I want to say Vogue had it harder, but he just had to deal with racism. We've seen more characterization from Mashiba, but I do, it's tough because Vogue, mind you, when Vogue had the Mike Elliott match, he was called in like I think a month or 2 weeks beforehand, so you didn't even have time to prepare for it. And then the ref was cheating, actually picking Mike up. So it's kind of like pick your poison. It's like a dozen apples in one hand and 6 in the other. You know, half a dozen in one hand, 6 in the other. So how you pick how rough you want it. You know, I do enjoy Vogue's more just because of his goal to take care of his mother did not get met. She passed away from illness. And between him losing to him losing to Sendo, and him coming back to Japan, going to America and New York, and actually fighting Mike Elliott, his mother had already passed away before he could become a world champion. That was like overall goal to look out for his mom. But even losing her, her words still reign true to her son. And in his thank you, he says, "Thank you, Mom. Thank you for giving me life." And you see the panel of him and his mother saying, "Make sure you become whoever it is you wish to become." Very, very cold panel. I love it. When Hajime Ippo put you in those feels, ooh, those sweet feels, that's what we read for. That's what we're here for, you guys. Alright, we're back on it. Referee's in the corner. He's shouting at Rosario and his coach saying, "Hey, you're getting too rough. Watch the headbutts. If it happens again, you begin a point deduction." And I like how in this match, and also in the Ricardo Martinez match with Wally, they're talking about, hey, listen, the jumping around, stepping on the ropes, that gotta get cut out. The headbutts, the fighting like that, that's get cut out. Because it adds to the realism of boxing. You're not just gonna be doing backflips in the ring and like doing somersaults. Like, no, we're cutting that out. We fight with our hands. Stop the acro. Take that down to Circus Soleil, alright?
I thought I told you take that shit down the way. Take it down the way.
You can't keep headbutting somebody. You tighten up your form in the gym. So now you're actively kind of headbutt someone. Happens again, losing the point, the second point, third time, you just cut, disqualified. And that's sometimes how real life go, things like the Frank Bruno matches and things like that, things of the sorts. But in Ippo, I like how they let the fighters kind of do what their niche or niche is, like their crazy spark, and then wait in later rounds. And once the fighter's kind of overdoing it, then the ref kind of tells them to stop. But we as a fans have seen enough of it anyway. Like even when he told Wally, he's like, "Oh, it's time to sit down anyway. It's time to stop jumping around," which he got, maybe should have kept on jumping around. Maybe he would have survived, but yeah. Rosario is not listening. He's just saying, "Well then, it was a good punch. The timing was right, and I pushed into a distance where I could land." He said, I just have to change the trajectory, and then I'll shoot right through him." And now when I first read this, I was like, man, what's he talking about? Like he missed him. Like he didn't hit him at all. But later on in the chapter, I want to see, I think I know what he's referring to. Rosario, and then Mishiba's coach tells him this: "We stop the bleeding, but he's not an opponent you can take on while being half on the defense. If you want to go for it, then go for it." He believes in this fighter wholeheartedly. He knows this version of Mishiba he can trust. He's not going to foul. He's not going to wild out. He's going to win the proper way. And if he feels like he has the opportunity to get something, he can go for it. They're one accord right now. They're mind melded. They're one fighter, heart and soul. One of secret techniques: two hearts, one fist. He says, "The." Coach says, "Thank you." What? Mishiba thanks his coach. Mishiba, he's habitually ungrateful. Said thank you to his coach, and the coach is just shocked. The changes happen right before our eyes. He walks back out to the ring to see Rosario, and we get a cold panel where it's just Mishiba's silhouette, Rosario's silhouette, completely blacked out, except for both their left eye. Well, left. Before Mishiba's left eye, Rosario's right eye. And you just see them kind of stare at each other, and like a little line in the back, like they're on the same wavelength. They understand this round might be the final round, and we're going to end this right here. And they both come to the ultimate forms. I kind of wish he would have saved the Rosario look. His hair changed maybe this chapter, but it's okay. It's just nitpicky. But like they're both in the perfect forms. And we see Mishiba again. This time we actually see his silhouette with his eyes. And although they still have the crazy look in his eyes, his demeanor looks calm. He's still intimidating. Don't get me wrong, but it's not like before where he couldn't see his pupils. He was just a man possessed. Now he's in control of himself. Think about Alfredo Gonzalez when he went out of Metzley mode and became himself again. He knocked out Ippo because he capitalized on my minute opportunity. And boxing is just going out there and punching. Boxing is definitely a thinking man's game. And then we see Rosario, also looking determined, staring up at Mishiba, ready to pull off what he has to pull off. Whatever he has planned for this, it's going to turn the tides of the match. That I know. Mishiba's coach, I don't understand, but it feels like he's going to pull it off here. Like they all feel like this is going to be the last round. Then we go to Rosario's coach. He says, "Does he see the path to victory?" Next panel we see Miyata saying, "What do you think?" Here goes Sendo. "Where do I even start? He's just found all over the place." Miyata says, "I wasn't asking you. Talking to the man next to you. Mind your business. Don't speak till spoken to."
Shut up!
And then that's when Sawamura says, right as the gong rang, "Did you catch it?" He has his finger up, middle finger, or his index finger this time. And he touches the temple of his eye, and the top of his eyebrow. And Sawamura simply says, "That's bad," with a grim look on him, shading around the eyes and shading the back. The panel looks grim. Sendo, obviously, he's clueless to know what's going on. We see Miyata staring intently, and we see Ippo and Kumi staring up, like cheering him on, excited for him. And we see Mishiba, we see Mishiba again, and Rosario rushes to him. We see him again, has the high guard up as he comes forward, back to the peekaboo style. And it says, "To be continued." That's the final panel of this chapter. Woo! Chase. Round 6 begins, 6. Double round. So it might be what it all comes down to in it. I think what Rosario was going for is to counter with a foul. Maybe he's going to elbow top of his eye to split it open. Maybe he's going for a thumb. Because I just don't see. Because for Sawamura to say that's bad, it has to be more than just the counter. Or maybe it is. I'm looking too much into it. But I feel like Rosario has something else planned besides the counter. Because Mishiba already saw the counter coming. So he wouldn't fall for it this time. No, he's aiming for that. I think he's going to thumb Mishiba in the eye. I don't know if you remember that show years ago called Lights Out when about an old retired boxer, or if you ever sparred or had any combat sports, taking a thumb to the eye is devastating. That shit would have messed up the entire round. I took one thumb, I was sparring for one round, got thumbed in the eye. I couldn't see till like maybe round 4, because you got to keep it just irritates it, and definitely puts you at a disadvantage. But you won't get doctor stop for it, Or a lot of times it's hard to catch as a foul. That's like one of the ultimate fouls. And I'm noticing that what Hajime Ippo does well is that it brings out fouls in the story, but doesn't do it an excessive degree, with the exception, obviously, Rosario with the headbutts. Like the rabbit, ones that aren't commonly used, like the rabbit punch, when it's more kick, Mashiba. And obviously, I don't think a low blow is going to happen, but a thumb would be something too, is also a foul that people don't really talk about. But that's it for this one, folks. Like that, taking that like button, subscribe to me if you want to hear more action, and I'll catch you on the next one.